After 2 years of controversy and delays, Disney's Snow White trailer just dropped and it's an utter disaster. With an astonishing 439,000 dislikes and a record-breaking like-to-dislike ratio, this could be the most hated movie trailer in history. But why? Is it the CGI, the baffling plot changes, or the endless controversies surrounding the cast? In this video, we're cutting through all the noise to reveal the real reasons why fans and even casual viewers are rejecting this film. Buckle up, because the truth about this Snow White disaster will shock you. So after what feels like an eternity of drama, delays, and heated debates, Disney has finally dropped the official trailer for their much-anticipated live-action Snow White remake. Honestly, we all expected mixed reactions given the controversies this project has faced over the years, but no one could have predicted just how poorly this trailer would land with the audience. At the time of making this video, the trailer has racked up a staggering 439,000 dislikes compared to a mere 20,000 likes. For some context, while the Little Mermaid trailer also faced backlash, amassing 2 million dislikes, it still managed to gather 375,000 likes, a ratio of about 1 like for every 4 dislikes. But with Snow White, the numbers are on another level, entirely around 1 like for every 22 dislikes. This makes it a strong contender for the title of the worst performing movie trailer in history, and it even managed to surpass Madame Web's total dislikes in less than a day. Now, we're no strangers to the kind of discourse that surrounds these types of trailers. Predictably, some corners of the internet and certain media outlets are already pointing fingers at toxic fandoms or accusing viewers of bigotry. But here's the thing, this backlash goes far beyond politics or social agendas. This video is dedicated to breaking through all the noise to uncover the real reasons why this trailer has been met with such overwhelming negativity. Let's start with the basics, the CGI in this movie. Simply put, the dwarves look terrible. And that's not just a subjective opinion, it's a glaringly obvious issue. You don't need to be toxic or bigoted to notice how jarring and unnatural these characters look. The over-reliance on digital effects has backfired spectacularly, with the forest sequences looking more like a cheap video game cutscene than a multi-million-dollar Hollywood production. When you're marketing a live-action adaptation of a beloved classic like Snow White, there's an expectation of bringing a sense of realism and magic to the screen. Yet this trailer does the exact opposite. It overwhelms viewers with artificial visuals that undermine the very essence of what a live-action retelling should be. And this is just the beginning. As we dive deeper into this trailer's disastrous reception, it becomes clear that the problems aren't just surface level. Stay tuned as we unpack every reason why this remake is already shaping up to be a colossal misstep for Disney. When the purpose of creating a live-action adaptation is to bring the magic of an animated classic into the real world, it becomes baffling why a production would lean so heavily on digital effects. The excessive use of CGI in Snow White raises the question, why call it live-action at all if the visuals are so heavily digitized? Instead of immersing audiences in a vivid, tangible version of the story they love, the over-reliance on artificial imagery pulls them out of the experience entirely. But the problems don't end there. Disney, a company that frequently touts its commitment to diversity and inclusion, seems to have completely missed an opportunity to stand by those values with this movie. They had the perfect chance to cast multiple actors with dwarfism in prominent roles for a high-budget blockbuster, potentially offering a platform for underrepresented talent. Instead, they chose to abandon that opportunity altogether, opting for poorly rendered CGI characters that have been widely criticized for their unappealing and unnatural design. After backlash over the casting choices, Disney doubled down with poorly rendered CGI dwarves, alienating fans even further. The result? An expensive production that not only alienates fans of the original story, but also raises questions about whether Disney truly believes in the principles it claims to uphold. Adding fuel to the fire, the so-called remake diverges from one of the core plot lines of the original Snow White story. This isn't just a case of taking creative liberties, it's a wholesale reimagining of a beloved classic, one that the lead actress herself openly criticized in past interviews. She even admitted to having little connection to the original film, stating that she only watched it once as a child and didn't enjoy it. For fans, this comes across as disrespectful. If you fundamentally dislike the story you're adapting, why choose to remake it at all? At that point, it would make far more sense to create an entirely new fairy tale with its own message and values. Instead, Disney seems to be capitalizing on the name recognition of Snow White while discarding the very elements that made it iconic. This disconnect between honoring the original and chasing modern reboots is a big part of why fans feel let down and why the film's marketing strategy is failing miserably. We'll dig deeper into these questionable decisions and explore how they're shaping the public's perception of this film. Stay tuned as we uncover what Disney's missteps with Snow White reveal about their approach to storytelling and audience engagement. Perhaps Disney made adjustments during reshoots to bring Snow White closer to the original story, but fans have every right to express their frustration if a remake strays too far from its source material. Labeling this criticism as toxic or bigoted oversimplifies the issue. If the studio disliked the original narrative to such an extent, why remake it at all? A new fairy tale with its own story and values would have been a far better choice, avoiding the alienation of fans who cherish the classic. Instead, Disney seems to have relied on the legacy of Snow White for marketing, only to mismanage it so catastrophically that it's now considered one of the worst campaigns in cinematic history. Much of this backlash can be traced to the lead actress's comments, where she admitted disliking the original film and only having watched it once as a child. This confession, rather than endearing her to audiences, undermined excitement for the movie. It sent the message that even those involved in the production lacked appreciation for the timeless story they were adapting. Adding fuel to the fire, the actress intertwined political commentary with the film's teaser trailer, a move that naturally divided audiences. While everyone has the right to voice their opinions, doing so in the context of promoting a fantasy movie was an unwise strategy. The timing and platform of such a statement risked alienating potential viewers, particularly when her co-star was directly tied to the countries involved in the political discourse. It wasn't about stifling her voice, it was about understanding the need to keep unrelated controversies separate from the film's promotion. And then there's the trailer itself, rushed, overly edited, and evasive. Quick cuts between scenes seemed designed to obscure the visual flaws rather than showcase the movie's strengths. The lack of clear storytelling in the trailer implies that even Disney has little confidence in the final product. It's as if they're aware that audiences will notice the poor quality visuals and lackluster direction if they're given too much time to scrutinize any single frame. This isn't about audiences rejecting diversity or being overly critical of the film's modern updates. There's no shortage of diverse projects that have been both critically and commercially successful. Instead, the looming failure of Snow White stems from questionable decisions made at every stage of its creation, from marketing missteps to casting comments, all compounded by the apparent low quality of the film itself. The criticism of the trailer has largely focused on its visible flaws, not political or social agendas. Viewers have pointed out issues with the visuals, storytelling, and respect for the original material, concerns that are completely valid regardless of the social debates surrounding the movie. In the end, we'll have to wait and see if Snow White can defy the odds and find an audience, or if it will serve as a lesson in what not to do when adapting a beloved classic. What do you think? Will this remake succeed, or will it be a colossal failure? Share your thoughts and reactions in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from Movie Saga. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.